Anyway, everything's fixed now. We're looking into game number 1 between the blue Protoss in the bottom right side from Team J. He's the Taiwanese Protoss, Haas. His opponents on the top left side, he is the red Terran player fighting for Shopify Rebellion. It is Bjorn. Bjorn and Haas. Two players, like I said before, can get very aggressive here. Would imagine that Haas is the player to try and do that the most. We're already seeing a engineering bay blocking the pathway of the first base here. The first expansion for Haas, but you know what? Haas already has different plans anyway. Regardless of that engineering bay, he's going to put a pylon very close to the natural of Bjorn. Bjorn's being a little bit of a nosy neighbor, though. Is going to try to figure out what is going on and try to chase that probe. And we'll check this corner now as well. He knows that Haas is a cheeky little bugger. Likes to try and do some things here and there. So he does get the scout off with the Stargate being produced. He's not sending his Marines that way. Which makes sense. I mean, it's going to be very difficult to kill this pylon before like something like the Adept and Zealot actually come across already. What happened to that Zealot? Did he cancel it? He did cancel it. Alright. Again, showing a little bit that this engineering bay here doesn't really bother him too much. I think maybe the server, it kind of was like, alright, well, we have 3 people here that are from the Taiwanese server, so let's just get that all sorted. Man, I love that Nice is casting this as well. These are the moments where I'm wishing I knew Chinese, actually. Just being able to hear Nice talk about all these things, and especially because it's Haas, right? Who knows Haas better than Nice? Very interesting stuff. Anyway, it's unfortunate that he's not here. Part of the other stream. Oh, little lock on there onto the Adept. Looked like it was the Void Ray for a moment, so Haas moving both back, but it's all good, it's alright. Adept does gain entry into the main base, but doesn't quite want to just finish that shade just yet. Will be trying a secondary attack here with a Dark Shrine. Of course, I mean, Bjorn should know that there's not that much else happening right now. Seeing that his engineering bay across the map is still just sitting there. Talking about engineering base, he doesn't have anything else just quite yet to get that stealth detection going, and he has enough energy for one scan, but I think Haas will get himself a couple of these DTs with proper micro. Shouldn't lose them. Oh, Phoenix! Oh, you're joking. That actually lives. Just barely being able to lift up that one Cyclone here for long enough in time that the Void Ray actually just takes it out, even with all the repairs. Bit of a shame that only one player qualifies out of the Taiwanese region in DreamHack. Yeah, I mean, it's alright. They are 2 very cool players, both of them. And it's the rivalry they have got going for themselves, but yeah. To understand. Haas and Nice. 2 players kind of bit the same thing on the 2 sides of the same coin, right? That's what it feels like to me. So Haas being a little bit careful. Is utilizing his DTs now, but can only really attack the supply depot. Doesn't want to send 2 at a time because, well, 1 single scan and that could mean the end of both DTs then because of that. So far, Haas, I mean, he is really struggling. Bjorn feels comfortable enough to just start up his second command center here. I can't say I blame him. He's got his missile turret almost finished up here as well. Apparently he made another engineering bay. Oof, yeah, this contain for Haas seems to kind of be coming to an end. Those Cyclones will start to be able to just start poke at these buildings over here, and then what is what is Bjorn really supposed to do? He has that Void Ray, but can't really push in with anything else. The Cyclones, they could just lock onto the Void Ray also, of course, and that's exactly what they do. It's not looking very good for Haas so far. Well, GG. 1 point on the board so far for this red rocking Terran. He is the Shopify Rebellions. Bjorn. Big swoosh, skadoosh in his face with that camera. In the top right side, we have his opponent. 1 game down so far, but he's a cheeky little bugger. Could still make this work. Let's see if he can. The blue Protoss player from Taiwan, Team J's Haas. Let's see if I can piggyback off of the back of Nice here, actually. You know, that could be a good idea. Maybe Nice will just kind of show me what is important and what I need to talk about. As maybe that's the way we get Nice involved. We'll just use the Nice camera here in order to see what's going on. Alright. Has his teamless right now, you think? Oh, really? I checked Liquipedia. It said it was still Team J, but maybe he is. Huh. Let me double check. Oh, yeah. My bad. He is teamless now. Yup. That ended in April. Start of April. I'm living in the past, apparently. Well. Living in the past. Used to be Team J. Now I feel like we need to do something to equalize this out, right? We talked about them. How do we untalk about them? Do we just talk about other teams? Do we talk about how creative a player is Haas to pick up for a team? I mean, we all know how great Nice is, right? Haas is biggest opponent overall from the same region, same race. And overall been around the block for a little bit longer. Seems like a logical pickup for me. Unless if you don't like Protoss. Or, I don't know. Haas. His playstyle. Aggressive playstyle. Going for the Twilight Council this time around. He does have a Nexus, so, I mean, no one-base shenanigans. Doesn't mean that this is going to turn into something like a friendly macro game, though, just yet. Not just quite. Not just quite. We haven't arrived there. Haas checking for his third base as well, it looks like. Alright, yeah. I mean, he will just be going for that eco. Bjorn coming into the main base is gonna have a good proper scout here. And sees that there's not that much. 1 probe, 1 Hellion. So Widowmine drop leaves the Bjorn vicinity to try and get himself a little bit of aggression going there. Looks like the Adept, and where is that? Okay, it's a probe. I thought it would be a Stalker. Stalkers are in the main base for the time being. Natural base a little bit exposed, and Bjorn going straight through the middle here. Dead center. Trying to figure out where the opening is, and there he goes into the natural. 1 Widowmine goes. He's just going to unburrow this. Realizing that that's going to force those Stalkers downwards, of course. Oh my, that got close. Still manages to get 2 probes. Wow. You know what? You're persistent, and that is when your persistence get rewarded. Now just leaving that medevac in the top right side. Forcing a lot of Stalkers to stay on the Protoss overall space area. Although, to be fair, they weren't kind of looking to be running around, were they? At least, that's what I suspect. I can see the double forge, the third base quickly being produced, and everything like that. So, assuming that Haas wants to play defensive here, instead of being a little bit cheeky with his aggression, he's being a little bit cheeky with his greed. Now adding in those gateways here. Double upgrades. Has Blink ready. Most likely will get himself some charge as well momentarily. There's that medevac once again coming in. Stalkers. Probably don't want to lose a Stalker for this. Oh, the retarget. Oh, nice reaction there from Haas. Very good stuff with the probes there. Thought for a moment he was going to run them all back in, but then he managed to run them all back out of the Widowmine range, bar one of them, so he only lost a single probe, rather than multiple probes or a Stalker. Actually, he is losing a Stalker due to the auto turret. Not entirely necessary there, but yeah, oh well. 4 probes go down in total. The work account difference only divided by a number of, well, a quantity of 1 at this moment in time, which is a little bit worrisome for Haas, I'm not going to lie. He did open up with 3 Nexus, but it's not really showing it, is it? Not just quite yet. It needs to keep producing those probes. Also, of course, needs to not die while he's trying to get his economy as high as he can. A little poke of Stalkers here at the front door of Bjorn. Not gonna go too far in, as there are 2 siege tanks with a fair bit of bio there to stop anything from happening. I like this. Bjorn comes in with his forces to draw attention away to the Stalkers, as he comes in with the drop as well. Very quick, nice 1-2 jab. And 4 of those probes do pay the price. Recall from the Stalkers, and the blink forwards doesn't quite manage to get the medevacs. They are still floating around. One more good volley of the Stalkers, that would have done it. Raven. Oh no. Looks like Haas kind of forgot about the Raven here for a moment. Or at least it's just running away his probes as that harassment is coming in here. That's a long time that he's just not mining at all. So we can see on the income advantage tab here, it's just continuously going into Beyond Wasteland there. So the army for Haas is developing a little bit more so with the charge being done soon. Normally I'd say that might be a moment where the Protoss has an opportunity to make something happen. Because he's just going to have such a massive boost all of a sudden to his army. But the army of Bjorn is very strong here as well. He went up to 25 Marines. And still has 8 Widowmines here as well. 7 medevacs up in the sky. Like, this is a terrifying army right now. And it could probably beat these Zealots just by good positioning and kiting from the bio. Or just with good Widowmine hits, right? It feels like there's 2 ways for Bjorn to win this fight. I like that Haas is setting up a flank here with a lot of those Zealots. Oh, look at that. A triple-pronged attack is coming in here. No! What a travesty. A lot of the Zealots bulking up as there was a prepared little bit of Widowmine fire there. Waiting for those Zealots to try and make their move. And oh my god, they definitely got burned quite heavily. To be fair, Bjorn does still have to move backwards here, but not before he comes in again with that Raven. Resources lost tab looking very, very fancy for him as well. As that income advantage never quite managed to go into Haas's favor here, with him taking a quicker third. And the double upgrades, of course, I mean, he is going to have the +2/+2 momentarily if this is just a 1-1. Let's see how much of an influence that is going to be on this. I'm not sure if he even has enough. If he has 3-3. And yeah, that is the GG. Alright. Tech lab on the factory. Reactor on the barracks so far. Let's see if that's where these 2 buildings will stick. A little proxy pylon from Haas in the bottom right side. Is looking for a proxy. Was that Twilight Council he was making? Yes, it was. And that means, yep, there we go, Dark Shrine. Next to that little pylon hidden in the bottom right side. Once again, I'm going to attempt the DT. It will be a lot easier for him to try and get a War Prism involved with this as well. But it's going to be a while. So far, it doesn't seem like that is his intent. Just wants to have these DTs come in as early as possible. Even making another pylon here to warp them in a little bit closer from. Just wants to hit as soon as possible. Hopefully when there's not that much stealth detection around, right? Only a single scan might be available here for Bjorn. If he doesn't use that up for a mule. If he does, that would be absolutely abysmal, of course. Oh. Bjorn being Bjorn. Bjorn doing Bjorn things. Getting a little Stalker down there with the Cyclone Micro. With a Zealot continuously chasing him and another Stalker trying to come in and shoot as well. Some wonderful fencing tactics here from Bjorn. Using that mobility. Alright. The time has come. 2 DTs will start this party off. Let's keep an eye out for the engineering bay and, of course, the orbital command center. We have another one actually already being morphed in, and we may have 2 scans available momentarily. It's not that far removed. It's a lot quicker to get that scan with just upgrading the orbital rather than waiting for a 0 to 50 energy here. I think Bjorn knows. Let me see. Can we go on his camera? Does he know? I don't. Okay, he might not know. Okay, I don't think he knows. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Oh, there he knows. Oh wow. Okay. I have no idea when it went from he doesn't know to he knows, but I mean that didn't do anything for us, unfortunately. He's gonna try to come in here once again. Little stab at the Marines and another scan takes it down. This is where we start to worry. This is where we start to worry quite heavily for our red Taiwanese Protoss player. Yeah. He went in with 2 DTs and I believe he killed 1 Marine. He got 1 Marine. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Well, it's something. It's something. It is something. It's not something perhaps to write home about, but we will have another attempt here. A lot of Stalkers and Zealots. So Army Supply is looking alright. He has that Archon there as well. If he gets himself on top of these siege tanks in time, he did get Blink. And if that Archon gets good AoE damage onto those Marines, maybe, but there is another siege tank now on the high ground. That's going to make it difficult to have this engagement occur. A nice supply depot wall here from Bjorn as well, making it harder for a lot of these units of the Protoss to kind of get themselves forwards here. The blink forward may be a little bit too much for this time. Does take out one of the siege tanks, but there's still 2 more shooting at him. Trying to get rid of the other one, and yeah, that is just not happening. He took way too much firepower from those tanks, and the Marines just happily shooting away whatever came close. Target down what's low HP, and yeah, Haas. I mean, this went from bad to worse. This went from, well, maybe we're going to be able to do something here to, well, yeah, let's see if we can avoid certain death for a certain period of time. So at least that's what it's starting to feel like. Maybe Heartattack will surprise me up in the end. It wouldn't be the first time when a player proves me wrong. We'll have to wait and see. Good production here. Oh, he went in again with the Stalkers. Really trying here. I suppose if you're already in a bad spot, you may as well attempt a couple more maneuvers, right? The risky ones. Because you're gonna have to in order to catch up. It's impossible to just be like, alright, well, let's just play the regular stuff now. No, you do need to try and get yourself some sort of an advantage here and there. And it looks like actually that advantage here might be taken up by Bjorn instead. Yeah. GG. GG. In the bottom right side, we have got ourselves the Korean Terran. He's rocking the red Shopify Rebellions Byun. Top left side, the blue Protoss player. Fighting from Taiwan, he is the one and only Haas. Teamless right now, so yeah. Quick shout out if you are looking for picking up a what, a second best Taiwanese Protoss player in the world. Sometimes the best Protoss player, but right now, you know what? We are on an Elfax channel, so I suppose I can say that he is only the second best Protoss from Taiwan. Or actually, we should say just the best player, right? Because that is what it is. There's not that many other Taiwanese players that actually are competing with these two. Let's see. Let's see what the Chinese stream is looking at for a moment here. A Nexus before Cybercore coming up for Haas here. Looking into the macro game once again. Whereas Byun is going for a factory here before that second base. So maybe he's going to be the player getting aggressive this time around. I would like to see that, actually. Yeah, I would really like to see that. See if Byun... see if Byun can crack the defense of Haas with his own aggression. Haas is a player that likes to play early game stuff. He's really good with his micro and everything like that. Good with that type of decision making because, well... he often finds himself in those moments where he needs to make those decisions. Oh, that's unfortunate. The probe trying to get on the SCV there, but doesn't quite work out. Trying to run past the Marine, but will not let that happen. Byun there with the micro. Getting the probe. Zap managing to escape. And now we have the reason being shown to us why Byun did go for the one base quick factory starport. There's an armory coming in here and he's making a couple of those Widow Mines. Now, already has a couple of Hellions here as well. I'm very curious to see what his plan is overall. He's going to try to keep those Hellions alive and like transform them into Hellbats as he drives them into the probe line. I don't think you have to, right? Already 3 Hellions, they should one-shot the probes. Making them into Hellbats would just kind of stop them. So I think that armory is really just there for the Widow Mines. That's what I'm assuming here. Let's see if that assumption is gonna be proven correct. Hellions find their way into a little corner here and immediately on top of the mineral line of the natural base. A sneaky little way to enter the vicinity. As the Widow Mines start burrowing in the ground as well right now. 10 workers so far have gone down. This is quite abysmal damage. It's another Widow Mine in the main base that does get lifted up. The probes are on it. They need to. Oh boy. Oh, that is rough. More probes go down. 15 in total now. And yeah, that is Byun's offensive paying very much so for itself. 15 probes still has Widow Mines. Oh, the carnage continues. Not done just quite yet. There's another Widow Mine here that is going to start resetting. I'm not sure if Haas has fully figured out just yet that there are the armory, or that there is the armory available. More probes fall. And there you have it, GG. Just no way for Haas really to get that detection out in time. Unfortunately, he was making an Oracle, but oof, oof. Alright, so Starting off in the bottom left side, that is a rocking red Protoss player. Fighting teamless. And fighting his heart out. Not having a great time so far. Guys, give it up for this Taiwanese monstrosity. He is Haas. Even though he is a very strong player. In the bottom right side, we have a player that is just simply one of the absolute best in the field. It's the blue Terran player fighting for Shopify Rebellion. He is Bjorn. It does feel a little bit similar, so far at least, to seeing two people from a different weight class compete against one another. There's one player trying punches, jabs, kicks, all sorts of things, but nothing really landing, or at least if it does land, it doesn't really feel like it's hurting his opponents at all. And then whenever Bjorn just does something, it is immediately like almost a knockout punch immediately, right? The more I started trying to make the comparison between like fighting sports and StarCraft 2, the more I started to like it in a way. I was thinking like, in a sense, it is just two people fighting in an online platform, but then instead of having their own bodies, they have a hive mind kind of collective group of things, right? And then, in a way, instead of actually coming into the fight with your muscle spree builds, you can decide to spend your attention on either getting kicks, jabs and punches in there, or you can spend your time in working out, basically increasing your punch weight and increasing your overall either defense or offense, right? Your muscles, growing muscle in a sense. Maybe I've taken the analogy too deep, but kind of like it. I kind of like it. I'm gonna start saying growing more muscle right now, more often. Now you know where that came from. If you hear it in the future. What's happening here? What's happening here? It's an adept. All right. Well, nothing to nothing to worry about too much. A little probe there. Also, may try to do something else. There's a dark shrine on the way after all. Once again, Haas will make this attempt, but I mean, Bjorn has been so on top of the DT detection and spotting, absolutely everything. Now, this has me worried. This has me worried a little bit, quite a bit actually. Let's hope he knows what he's doing. He's grabbing the blink upgrade as well, so I mean, he could try a little bit of that similar thing, right? As he did on Oxide as well. Coming in with the DTs. DTs don't work out that well. He can come in with Blink Stalkers, Zealots, and Archon afterwards. Not sure if that will work out, though. We'll see. Dab's doing a wonderful job so far, keeping the Marines on the other side of the map, keeping Bjorn kind of honest. Bjorn having a hard time figuring out exactly what's going on the map, right? This is one bit of information that he managed to obtain. Other than that, he doesn't quite know. Gold base being taken here as well by Haas. Interesting stuff. So I imagine he's going to try to use the DTs here for an attempted aggression and the Blink Stalkers to try and contain his opponent and keep him from doing damage. And then he's just going to try to, well, obtain a massive advantage through the help of that gold base. Gotta watch out for the scan here. Where is our energy? 3 seconds to 1, and it should be available right now. There we go. Good split, though, from Haas. This is the first time he's actually been able to get into this place and do something. Interesting. Interesting maneuvers there from these adepts. Maybe trying to see if they could spot any medevacs attempting to move out. DT's once again kind of stuck on the wall here. We do have another scan already available, so if he wants, he could just take this out. There he goes. Maybe wanted to see if he could try to get more DTs, let a couple more slip in before he actually uses it. Alright, next stealth detection will be coming in the shape of a missile turret. This is the first time we've seen these DTs actually amount to anything, right? Look at this. 3 supply depots. It's not bad. It might not seem as much, but look at the supply block that Bjorn is suffering from right now. He needs to make 2 supply depots, and even then, he's going to have to start working on a 3rd pretty soon. He has a couple of SCVs here, actually, following another SCV. I guess it doesn't matter because he's oversaturated. Well, yeah, it does matter, actually. These are 4 SCVs, not mining here. Very uncharacteristic mistake from Bjorn. As Haas is mining quite heavily. Oh, little drop play. Stalkers coming in. Yeah, get away from here, Medivec. Yeah. All right. I mean, this is the best we've seen Haas in so far in this series, right? This is the best game he's played. And he did manage to gain a little bit of that momentum, right? Bjorn gave him a toe, and now let's see if he's gonna lose a foot. I love that. Haas is not sitting still either. He's already grabbing a 4th base here as well. And that is with that gold base there already mining away from him. To be fair, the gold base will mine out rather quickly in comparison to other bases, but still. I like to see the initiative here coming in from Haas and really starting to claim a lot of space. Something that he was not allowed to do in any of the previous games. Little barracks coming up here. I don't... Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, we're not seeing any real attempts for... oh, look, he still has those 4 here. I guess he's fully saturated now, but, I mean, that is a long time to just have 4 SCVs sitting here, huh? That's interesting as well. He's like, wait a moment. I don't have probes. I don't own any red probes. Oof. Look at the scouting information that is coming in here for Haas. He is ready for any type of drop. Or at least he really wants to be. He has the vision for it. All this map awareness right here being gathered up by Haas. A very cool thing to see. He has this entire map. He knows that his opponent is only on the 2 base still, as he's going up to 5 base. Is that 5 base? Yeah, it is 5 base. Couldn't believe it, actually, the difference in bases there for a moment, so I had to stop myself and count again. I counted it 3 times in total, but yeah, I'm fairly certain now that Haas has 5 bases. Coming up, at least, as soon as this one's done. Alright. It's a lot of gateways. Haas not making a complicated army, but he's making use of the fact that he has this much money. Making a ton of zealots, just making a ton of gateways, just make sure that you're going to be able to spend all that cash and just reinforce instantly once you lose your army here, because, I mean, Bjorn, sure, he doesn't have much money, he doesn't have much bank to work with. He's going to struggle if he loses his army, but he still has a pretty darn good army here, which... I mean, if you don't manage to get a good fight against this, and this army just starts snowballing across, right? Like, first they take out these bunch of zealots, and then take out this, and then they'll start taking out bases. Potentially. But Haas, he seems to be in a very good spot overall to stop that from happening. Has a triple-pronged surround here coming in. Let's take a look. The zealots, each and every which angle here. Unfortunately, a little bit desynchronized. A very difficult thing to pull off, a triple surround here. Now more zealots coming in a little bit slow to the party. This is where that bank for Haas has to come kicking in. There we go, that's the Warpins. It's like, what, 15 gateways? 18 gateways, actually. That should be good enough to get those units back, and instantly he is just retaliating back on top of that Terran force as soon as it thought it was going to get anything done. There we go. The reinforcements comes in and Haas. Haas going for the Stargate. Whereas Bjorn going for the factory here. I'm kind of curious to see that reactor. Okay, that's pretty far away. Will it still be Widow Mines? What you gonna go for? It will still be a Widow Mine. Alright. I mean, he doesn't have a Reaper either, so the Hellion would have been an okay choice as well in order to get that scouting information. Stargate. I don't think the Stargate got spotted at all. Because Bjorn never really went outside of his own home. Just kind of stuck there right now. With the Adept in front. Okay, and we're going for Phoenix play here. 2 Phoenix already being made. That's going to work out great against the Widow Mine opening of Bjorn, of course. Should be able to intercept any type of aggression coming out of those medevacs with the Widow Mines loaded aboard. As long as the Phoenix aren't across the map somewhere, they should be able to arrive in time and stop lethal damage from taking place. There's the attempt. 3 Widow Mines on the ground and 3 Widow Mines in the air. A sad tale, but... well, there you have it. Phoenix, absolutely amazing against this sort of thing. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see Phoenix becoming more and more of a... just the regular opening, right? In PvT. They just, like, in comparison to Blink Stalkers or something like that, this just seems so much easier to deal with the harassment. You're surprisingly safe against any type of early game pushes as well, with a lot of Marines. Thanks to the, what is it, like 200 overall amount of health on those Phoenix. You might say, well, that doesn't sound like too much. They have more than the siege tank. They have, yeah, I mean, an Adept only 140. So what is that? So 2 Phoenix, that would be 400. The Adept 140. I mean, how many Adepts do you need to get 400? I don't know. I'm going to give up there. Anyway, it's something to think about, right? Something to conceptualize and consider within your own mind space without bothering me with it. Jeez. Talk about this in your own time. Alright, we have a Resonating Glaive upgrade coming in. That's very interesting, as we do have the big Warpin taking place just above the third, or the would-be third of Bjorn. Bjorn, what does he really have? So far, he has that siege tank, a lot of Marines behind it. Still has a Raven here as well. And the bunker, very close to the SCVs. They need to get themselves a good repair. That bunker is crucial. Very often, if you do open up with this Stargate, you would see the Protoss going for a Void Ray here as well, in order to really charge down that bunker with a prismatic alignment. Instead, we're seeing Haas just making more and more Phoenix. He went up to 6 of them in total. I think he just did catch a glimpse of that Widow Mine, or at least he could have, if he was looking at the Phoenix at that time. Scan for Bjorn. Bjorn's still not entirely sure what is going on here. He's on the 2 base. And we might be in a similar situation as we were in before. I think Haas realizing that his opponent once again is just getting ready to absorb one of his punches, and he's just not gonna do it. He's just gonna take more bases here. I think we're seeing a very cool approach from Haas here, where he's starting to figure out how to beat this style of play that Bjorn is throwing out. He's definitely giving Bjorn quite a bit of difficulty right now. Army supply is incredibly similar. If Bjorn tries to move out, I mean, this is gonna run into his base. It's gonna just shade right on top of all those Marines, Marauders, the siege tanks that are unsieged. Widowmines could be picked up by the Phoenix as the shades are coming in as well. That could be devastating, right? I mean, even if the Widowmines do get in the ground, as long as the shades are a little bit spread out and a lot of it is just on top of the bio as well, I mean, that's going to do a lot of damage. Oh, this is going to be awkward. Oh, please, please. He doesn't see it. That would have been hilarious. That would have been so funny. The one Marine just suddenly, just 200 Adepts hiding somewhere. He's like going out to take a leak in the forest, and then he finds an army of 200 supply Adepts right there. It is quite something. Well, Haas definitely making this one interesting. I have to give him that. And that's the move out. Oh, yes! Yes! Yes, surprise! There it is. Okay, lifting up a couple of those Widowmines. Oh, I don't think I like that position for the Adepts, but a lot of Widowmines still out of the ground. Couldn't quite get the shot off. A bad concave there for the Adepts, though. Trying to get something better going, and will not shade forward there. Need to utilize this concave here on the low part of the ramp, but that anti-armor missile is making life quite difficult for them for the time being. More Adepts coming in, and Haas, he just forced Bjorn away from that third base. He's like, alright, just stay on 2 bases. Just stay on 2 bases. As soon as I have 5 again, I'm going to be at that place once more where no matter how much stuff of mine you kill, I'll instantly remax again. Where you are not going to be anywhere near that amount. Oh, those anti-armor missiles, though, they are absolutely shredding these Adepts right now. Let's see. Units lost stab. Definitely in favor for Bjorn, but I mean, let's take a look at the income graph. Yep, that is definitely not in his favor. Bjorn is striking back, though, with a little drop here. The probes did get pulled, and the Adepts trying to deal with this right now. Wow, okay, very aggressive shade forwards here, but being caught out by another portion of the army of Bjorn. This is such a crazy style. Just mass Adept right here from Haas. Getting the charge upgrade right now as well. I think I like that. Have these forces spread out a little bit more so, especially against those Widowmines. Adepts, are they gonna go for it? Maybe he could just cancel like that part of it. Just have like 4 of them go in, right? I think that would be worth. Let's get a couple of them there. Oh, he's gonna commit here? No, he's not actually. I thought he would. Not really managing to get much done though either. What's that? 53 Adepts so far have come down in this game. 53 Adepts at a 11-minute mark. I don't think I've ever seen that in any pro game. Oh, Adepts getting caught out again here. Try to shade themselves forwards into the production line. A couple of Adepts as well onto the mineral fields, but Siege Tank really protecting both flanks and will not allow anything bad to happen to his economy. Bjorn here with the 3 bases seems to be doing alright against the 4 base Protoss so far, especially with these types of traits that are occurring. Again, a massive anti-armor missile, not really being able to avoid that one. That's rough. And there go the probes. Haas decides to just run into his opponent's side of the fields here. Widowmines attacking, alright. Doing an okay job so far. Might be able to get 2 bases here, but of course he's also going to get squashed as soon as this army returns. It's a lot of SCVs. Will he be able to take out enough portion of the Terran army here now as well in order to not die instantly as soon as Bjorn has his hands free again? A recall trying to escape with a couple of those zealots. One of them does. The lone survivor. The lone survivor. Very unfortunate there. The last one left of his clan. Right, let's take another look at this resources lost tab. 69 adepts. Always fun. Yeah, this is crazy. This is... This is a ridiculous one. I think Bjorn is starting to really have control of this game, though. Even with these run-bys and everything like that, I feel like this is just going to go into Bjorn's favor here, unfortunately for Haas. I really like this playstyle. I really like what we're seeing overall from him. He's going to make another maneuver, and it looks like, you know what, Bjorn is coming in for this one again here. Will rotate back. Now, Bjorn, I mean, his army is double the strength pretty much of that of Haas, but Haas does have some more economy here. If he keeps his opponents busy and keeps destroying the economy of Bjorn here time and time again, maybe that will be enough. Alright, big engagement here. Massive anti-armor missile once again landing. Man, they have really been tearing Haas a new problem. You don't see them being utilized to like this extent as much, right? This Raven control from Bjorn is quite something else. Truly crazy cool play to see here from this from both of these players, really. It's a shame that we only got to see one of these. Well, and we saw the previous game also going in a similar fashion, but Bjorn realizing his mistake in that previous game and going for a quicker third base, did manage to secure it and never fell as far behind on the economy as he did in the previous game. But yeah, I mean, with this type of stuff, this is just fantastic StarCraft, in my opinion. At this point in time, I don't really care that it's probably already gone so heavily into Bjorn's favor that, you know, it feels like an incredibly tough thing to do for Haas to win this one still. Sacrificing a couple of probes. He has enough of them there anyway. He doesn't need the, the amount that he has. Yeah. I don't know. Does anyone still think there's a chance here for Haas to get through? Like, in this point in time, if you were to take control of Haas's units, would you be like, alright, yeah, I can make it work from here. I can make it work from here. I mean, Haas is going to try to go in with a lot of probes here as well. In fact, Widow Mines, okay. Getting a lot of damage on those zealots. There will be an escape from the units of Bjorn here. And that is his one mining base. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a moment. Is this going to be enough? A good Widow Mine hit there. Oh, another massive Widow Mine hit there. Now the army of Haas is gone. Alright. Yeah, could not afford to keep pushing through. GG is scored and Haas loses game number 6 here as well. Giving Bjorn the victory.